Hello. Just waiting for some people to pop on. I don't see anybody yet. They're gonna start coming in. I never know if you're really watching before it tells me you're watching, so that's why I stand here with a smile like this. I just wait, because I'm not sure. As you're coming on, say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. Hi, Mim. I see you're watching. Awesome. We'll give everybody some time. I'm about 5 minutes early, so we'll give everyone some time, and I'm going to connect my laptop so I can see all your comments, and I will be right back. Okay. I'm not seeing comments on my laptop yet. Maybe they're coming in too fast here. So we have, let's see where everyone's watching from tonight. We have Ohio, Colorado, New Brunswick, Jacksonville, Florida, Hubbardsville, New York, Tacoma, Washington, Maryland, Alabama. We have all over the states. I saw one fellow Canadian so far. I probably missed some of you. We got Charleston, Phoenix. Oh, the comments are on my laptop now. Awesome. Kansas, Kentucky, Maine. Awesome. I'm so happy to be here with everyone tonight. This is my getaway too, so I'm super excited to be here. We got from Michigan. I'm close to Michigan. I'm just across the border, border city, kind of near Windsor. California. Yes, this video will be available later if you're just coming on to watch tonight, or if you can't finish it for some reason. Hi, Tammy. This video will be available for replay. It will be under videos on my page, or you can catch it on my YouTube channel, which is Artisticress. So just like my page, same name, same spelling. You can subscribe there. I have all my past tutorials on YouTube, so if you want to go there and subscribe, it's an easy, quick way also to find everything I've done from the past. Usually within a week, I have them up there. It's a little slower than on Facebook. I replay them right away. I'm going to try to get, because this is such a popular event, I'm going to try to get it up tomorrow on YouTube, just so anyone can have easier access to it. But yeah, it's gonna definitely be replayed right here tomorrow. So I still see people coming in. We'll give it some more time. Hi, Cindy. I see you watching. We got Tennessee, Manitoba, Canada. Awesome. Alaska. Awesome. Hi, Lynn. I see some of my regulars on here. So if you haven't painted with me before, welcome. I've been doing this for sharing it for about 2 years. I've been painting for over 10, but I got brave enough, I'll say. I faced my fears and I decided to teach it to everybody. So online was really, really hard for me to get used to, because I would teach them in person and I could see everybody and I could see how people were enjoying my paint parties, and I could like talk back. And now it's so different because I went online only because I can't teach them in person right now, from where I am from. COVID is still really high. So I started doing them online, and I don't see really like how people are painting or if they're enjoying it. So anything you want to leave me in the comments while you're painting, let me know. It's greatly appreciated. I am a people person, so for me to do it this way, it's still for me getting used to almost talking to myself. But I see all your comments coming up and I feel like you're here with me, which is awesome. Yes, my own artistic, yes, I do have my own artistic page as well, a website. Thank you for mentioning that. I just got it up yesterday. So there is also a website available on my page. If you go on Facebook, you'll see access to it there. I didn't actually put it up yet, like tagged, but I'm gonna do that soon. This is all new to me, this technical stuff. So one little baby step at a time. I'm teaching you how to paint, and then other people are teaching me the technical side, so it's a give and take here. But I still see people coming in. We're at about 824 people. I'll give it a few more minutes. While this many people are watching, I do want to bring up a serious point before we have a lot of fun. And that is, I've had a lot of scammers on my page for this event, specifically, I think because it had such a good reach. So I just want to tell everybody in the comments, if you see a link that I did not personally mention that I posted and it does not have my name beside it, please do not click it. They will try to get you to go there and watch a fake video that you probably have to pay for, or they'll get some kind of personal information from you. So I would absolutely I hate the fact that I can't stop this from happening. I can only ban them, but I can't catch everybody while I'm doing my lives. So I've already banned about 15 today, maybe even 20. I'm trying to protect you guys as best as I can. But I see one just came up now, and there's two, they're finding me. So do not click any links that do not have my name at the top, okay? If anybody can report them or knows how, if you see them pop up, go right ahead. I don't know if I can while I'm doing this live, I can try. But if my event is free, there are no links, absolutely no links to hit. I'm gonna go right now and just see if I can get rid of them. Thank you for whoever just wrote reported. Thank you. I'm getting rid of some of them right now, but I'm not going to be able to keep up with them because I want to get on with my night. I'm not letting anyone ruin the night for me or for anyone else. So if you see them, just ignore them. They can't hurt you if you don't click the link. So maybe they'll get some painting tips out of this. Look at it from a positive light. Okay, so I'm going to go over the supplies we're using tonight, and then we'll start painting. Okay, so most importantly, drink of choice. Mine is tea. If you have a drink of choice, make sure you have it with you. That is the most important supply for tonight. Then we have just a plate to paint on. Some napkins. This is just for cleaning off our brushes. Some water to clean our brushes again. We have a 1/2-inch flathead brush. Anything similar to this will work. Flathead's the best for blending, so even if you have 1 inch, that's fine. But this is a 1/2 inch. And then we have a small flathead brush. And I have this is a detail brush. This is a 3. 3 or smaller will work for this. So we're not too fussy when we paint. We can always work with what we have. I am self-taught over the last 10 years, and I've learned different ways to create the same look with different brushes. So it works. I don't know if that's like the technical proper way for someone who went to college or university for art, but it works. So I always try to teach different ways that I've learned to do it over the last 10 years. I have a blow dryer. This is just to speed up the process in between layers. We won't need it much though. You can always step outside for a second and your painting will be dry because acrylic dries super fast. Yes, I see scams coming up 100 miles an hour. Please do not click them. Just ignore all things that are clickable. Then we have purple velvet. You can have this. You can have just a different shade, but a lighter purple, a medium to light purple. We have, I have turquoise and ocean breeze, which together is going to make a deep turquoise. I ran out of my original deep turquoise when I had made this event. So I'm going to put these two together to make it. If you have just a deep turquoise already and you got what I said on the instructions, then that's perfect. I just have to make mine. And then I have white and black, and I have a wild eggplant. This is almost like a purpley red. So if you could not get this exact shade, but you have a darker purple and red, you could just mix it together and it will basically come out sort of like this, like pretty close. It doesn't matter if you have different types of acrylic paint, they can all mix together and they'll work fine. This one is higher quality than this one, and I do it all the time, so they will still work out okay. If you are asking me any questions as I'm doing this and I don't see them, just because there's so many people popping up and so many questions going through, please message me after. I'll be glad to personally answer your questions. There's no way I could paint and keep up with all of it. So I will come back, I will look at your comments, and I will go over it again with you. Okay, so if you are ready to, this is acrylic paint. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know I could change my Facebook password. Maybe that's the issue. Is that how they're scamming me? Is through my password? I'm not tech savvy, so. Yeah, lavender purple will work. And if you don't have these colors at all, black and white is the most important tonight because those are just going to be our offsets. If you have like blue and pink and that's your background, that's completely fine. So don't get hung up on colors at all. Many times I have people paint with me and they all look different. They all come with different colors, and that is completely fine. So please, I only suggest exactly what I did here, just so that if you do want it to be exactly the same, then you can get that, but that look, but you can do whatever colors you want. Okay, yeah, I'll try to change my password then. Thank you for that suggestion. Okay, so if we are ready to start painting, give me some thumbs up or likes and I'll know that everybody's set up and ready. Okay, you got lots here. Okay. Perfect. Lots of thumbs up, lots of hearts. Everyone's ready to paint and have fun. Awesome. Okay. I will go slow. I will give you time in between. Between each step, I will just say, show me some thumbs up when you're ready to move on. And that's how I'm going to go by moving on. So just every step, I'll just remind you, and then you just communicate that way just because I can't see you. Okay, so we are going to start. Let me move this a little closer here. And I have my moon right here. Now, there was a small plate suggested in the description. I did not bring a small plate. I'm just going to freehand it. This is about 6 inches, so in diameter. So even if you took your finger and you just measured twice, you would get 6 this way and 6 this way. And then we can kind of place our moon here. I'm just going to freehand it on there before we start painting. So if you do have a plate and you want to put it there and you want to trace it, go ahead and do that. If you don't have a plate with you, then we can just put some dots. So I'll show you here. So we're gonna get our wild eggplant on our plate. I can put this down a bit if you guys can't see the sample here. Hold on. Do that there. And then we'll just kind of keep it like that. Is that better? That way you can see both. And then we have the light. Okay, so we're gonna get our eggplant on our plate. And I'll show you my plate when I'm done so you can see everything that's on here. We're gonna get our purple velvet. And then whatever turquoise color you have, if you have a deep turquoise, you can do that. I'm gonna mix mine right now to make my deep turquoise. If you hear any background noises tonight, I have my beagle with me he's laying beside me. So if you hear any grunts or groans, that's not me, it's my beagle. Okay, so right now we have our purple velvet, our turquoise, and our eggplant color. Those are the background colors that we're gonna be using. If you have something different, you can put the 3 colors on. This is the dark and light purple. Both of them are on there. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, if you don't have a circle to draw, if you don't have a plate to draw your circle, we're just gonna do a couple little dots with the eggplant. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of paint on my small flathead brush, and I'm just marking out where my circle is gonna be right now. So we want it up here in the corner, and we're gonna measure out about 6 inches in diameter. So like I said before, we could just do even like 2 finger lengths. So if we do this and we start here, we can just put one there, just a little dot, and then if we measure down, we put a little dot here. And same with start wherever you'd like over here. And then we can just measure again a couple finger lengths. And just there. So we have our 4 points, which I know are hard to see here. But as I draw this on or paint this on, you'll see. So I'm just going to take and just do a rough circle with my flathead paintbrush right now. Doesn't have to be perfect at all. There's going to be a lot of layers going on here, so we're just getting a rough estimate right now. So just like that. So that's just how we're going to start there. Then we can wash off our small brush because we're not going to be using it for a while. Okay. So we're going to switch to our 1/2 inch flathead brush. I'm going to move this up a little bit because we're not working down there yet anyways. And we're going to be working with our darkest purple. So if you have the eggplant, we're going to be working with that first. If you just have a dark purple, that's fine. And we're going to put a good amount of paint on our brush. we're going to be blending the background. So the background, I am going to keep going fairly quickly, only because when you're blending, it has to be wet on wet paint in order to achieve that look. But as soon as the background's done, I will stop and give everyone time to catch up with the background. So right now, we are just going to take the 1/2-inch flathead brush, and we're just going to paint around this moon here. And we're just going in the shape right now of the moon around. So we're just following it. We just want to get that first coat kind of on there. We're just going all the way around. We're not worrying too much about technique right now. We're just going back and forth. I'm using both sides of the brush. So when I'm this way, I'm doing that. Then I'm flipping and I'm coming back this way. Because when we do that, we are moving paint from one side of the brush to the other. And that's how we're going to get an even, smooth look with no clumping or lines, is to evenly distribute it by going back and forth as the paint distributes on each side of the brush. So that's just what we're doing right now. Just getting that initial color on there. And I'm about the brush width away from the moon is what I'm doing. Okay. So as we do that, now we're going to start to blend the way that we want this to look. So normally if we are blending just a sky, we're going back and forth and we're blending the colors as we go. But this one is all coming from this point. So we're going to look at the page as it's on an angle, right? So we're loading up the brush again with that eggplant color, and we are just pulling down from where we left off. So we're just pulling down here. You can use one side of the brush and then go to the other and just kind of get that pull down this way. So I'm flat and I'm just kind of flicking down. My brush is at about like a 45-degree angle, like that. We're just kind of we want those rough edges. We don't want them to be smooth right now. And then as you go around here, you're going to notice, depending on the paint you're using, you're going to notice that as you leave from here and go here, this is turning to be a little thicker and darker. You can just kind of try to blend that in a bit as you're going. So kind of start there and then pull down. Kind of go around the moon and then pull down, and you're going to eliminate that look. So then what we're going to do is we're going to start bringing in some of that turquoise color. So I'm not rinsing my brush at all. When we blend colors that are in the same color family, you don't have to wash your brush if you're blending, because you're going to blend those colors in. They're going to complement each other. You're not going to get an ugly brown color. So we're going to go right with a dirty brush into that turquoise color, and it's fully loaded. Don't be shy. Get right in there. And we're going to pull down from where we left off. So we're pulling down, and then we're going to kind of go up. So you're going to see how that kind of meets there. And we're getting that look. I'm going to bring it closer so you can see. We're getting that look of them meeting here in the middle. The edges are they're not clean edges. So I start off with a heavy brush of paint furthest point from where I'm working up, and then as I get closer, my hand gets a little bit lighter. So I'm heavier handed here, and as I flick up, I get a lighter hand. And we're just gonna go through like this and just do that all the way. And don't worry about some of that purple coming through. We're gonna be bringing some more purple down into it anyways. You're gonna find that your colors are gonna slide down the brush, and that's how we're gonna get that cool interaction down here between these two colors. So the harder we push on that brush, the more we're gonna have those colors integrated as opposed to just using the tips. So we got that there. And I'm gonna go right back into that eggplant. Yes, I see someone commented that it would be nice if the scammers were blocked. I can only block so many of them. I apologize. I blocked about 20 before I came on, but I cannot keep track. There's like a million scammers out there, so it's almost impossible. Do not click any links if you came on late. Do not click any links unless there's a specific link that I tell you can click, or if it has Artistic Chris's name beside it. They are not able to scam with my name. They can only scam with their own name. So please don't click any links. I would feel terrible if you got scammed in any way. If there was a way to help block it, I would, but I can only do one at a time, and I can't catch them all while I'm painting. So please don't click the links. I'm going to take it as a compliment that my event is busy and they want to be a part of it, but don't click the links, okay? Okay, so we are going to go right back into that purple here, and we're going to just go back and kind of pull back down and up. So right on that edge where they meet, we're just pulling up and down right on that edge where they meet. You want to make sure you have enough paint on your brush, or you're going to get little ridges. You can even put a little bit of water on the tip of your brush, and then it will blend better. Yeah, I don't know if you have access to, if you see a scammer, if you go over their name, there's 3 little dots that will show up beside. You can report them. I don't know if you can block them because it's not your page, but you can definitely report them as being scammers if you want to. That's completely up to you. I'm just going a little bit over here just because it's a little bit see-through. If you have paints that are a bit thicker, then you don't have to worry about this. I'm just kind of going back over here. Okay, so we have that so far. Bring it closer. There's a little bit of a shine because I'm using a multimedia paper instead of canvas. My house is not massive, so I don't have enough room to do these on canvases every time. I would have nowhere to put them, and I definitely don't have the heart to toss them, so I kind of make this like my little portfolio book. But there is a bit more shine than there would be on a canvas. Thank you, Sharon, for blocking them. Thank you, Elaine, and anyone else who is blocking them. Thank you so much. How dare they rain on our parade? We will conquer. They will not ruin my moment. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the light purple. So far, we've just circled our moon with that eggplant color and we've pulled down, and then we went right into the turquoise and we kind of went back and forth, kind of pulling up and down to get that look. And we're going to do the same exact thing with this light purple now. So I'm going in, I'm getting a good amount of paint. I am using a multimedia book, so I will show you in 1 second. I'm just going to get this paint on here. And I'm just going back and forth, up and down like this on an angle. And don't get particular about where your paint colors are landing. If you have more turquoise up to here, then that's what you have, and that's okay. This painting here will not be exact to this one because this is a freehand painting. Not every speck of paint is going to be in the exact spot. So just do your best on putting it how you see it. But if it's different, don't be hard on yourself. Everybody's work of art is different, and that's what makes it awesome. And we're going to keep going. So I'm going to go, so I went over here, I'm going to switch over here, just kind of bring some of this purple up in here. And just kind of, we're hitting and missing here because we're going to come back with some of this darker eggplant color into here. I'm just kind of placing it here and there. And I'm just coming back in with that dark eggplant, and I'm just going in between my spots here. You can even go up a little bit into that purple. So we're really just alternating colors. So you see here, it's kind of all mixed. So I have some light purple here, some over here, some here, and now I'm just coming in with that eggplant color again. And we're still just flicking up and down, alternating the side of our brush. Okay, so now I'm just going to come through here with a little bit more of the turquoise, but I'm not going to go as heavy-handed on the brush. So just, it's covered, but it's not like a huge amounts on that brush there. And I'm going to lightly just come in and just flick up and down, kind of in the center where everything's meeting. And if you need to add just a little bit of water to the tip of your brush, that will help your paint blend in better. It's when our paint gets too dry, that's when we have the most issues. So a little bit of water on the tip of the brush helps a ton. And then we just keep blending. So when you're done that, you can rinse out that big brush. I'm going to give everybody a few minutes just to catch up and make sure you're all on the same page. But that's basically what we have. It's just kind of like an eerie, spooky Halloween night sky. So I'll give everyone a couple minutes to catch up. While that's going on, I'm going to just blow dry this. When you're finished, you can blow dry it. Then we can go on to the next steps. That way it's dry. When we're blending, we want everything wet. When we're putting layers, we want everything dry. So it's going to take 2 seconds to do that. You guys can go ahead and continue. Joey says mine doesn't look spooky. That's okay, it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to look spooky at all. Wait till we get some ghosts in there. Then it'll get really spooky looking. Yeah, you know what? I saw that somebody just commented I need an admin when... Sorry, I'll get out of your way. I need an admin when I'm on here. You are absolutely right. Like I said, I've only been doing this since COVID started, so that's definitely something that I'll have to look into. Maybe I can just get my mom to do it. Are you on here, Mom? I'll have to show her how to kick under the curb. Knowing my mom, though, she'd probably tell them off first. We gotta keep it kid-friendly. I'm glad you guys, I'm seeing a lot of I love this. That's awesome. We are here tonight to have fun, relax, get away from this week of whatever anyone has done. My week has been very crazy with online schooling and stress. So for me, like the happiest moment of my life is just to be here right now, getting 2 hours of peace to myself as an adult and just doing this paint night with you. I enjoy it, like thoroughly enjoy this. If anyone missed the starting and they want to paint this, the second I'm done, there's going to be a replay. It's going to be up here, and it's going to be up on my YouTube channel, Artisticris. Same name as my page. Yep, I always just know whoever's watching right now, if you haven't painted with me before, I always have a replay. So it doesn't matter, unless it's a paid event, then you do have access for a lifetime to that paid event. As soon as you make the payment, then you go into the private group. So you will have access from there. But if it's a free event, then it's just right on my page for anyone to view at any time. You can do it as many times as you would like. Try with different colors. If you go actually in my videos right now on my page, you will see all my past events are still up. I haven't taken a single one down since COVID started. This is our getaway from the insanity of life, so I will continue to keep them up there for quite a bit longer. Okay, so I'm going to give it one more minute. We have different levels of painters on tonight. When I paint, I don't like to rush anybody. I set aside this time so that it is not a rush time. It's a time for everybody to feel relaxed when they're painting, accomplish something that they are proud of, and I do not like to rush anyone. So we'll give it another minute, and then we'll see how everyone's doing. No, honey. Okay. You shouldn't have lost the sound of the video because I don't think anything changed. Can everybody hear me okay? Yeah, so this is just, I'll show you here while we have a second, if I can find it. This is a multimedia paper. So this is what I purchase. I get them off of Amazon just because I'm not brave enough to go to Walmart yet. But you can get them at Walmart, I think a little bit cheaper. These ones are about $16 Canadian, and you get 60 sheets. I think it's way worth the money. I've been doing this since the beginning. I have two. I have one that I paint in to prep an art, like what we're going to do, and then I have one I paint with you in, and they've lasted me the whole entire, since March. So definitely worth it. You won't see any paint go through. That's what it's made for. So you can do watercolor, you can do acrylics, and the paint does not go through to the other page. Only if you paint with the sheets together will you get this, but you can avoid that if you just take the sheet apart from it. But you can see the inside, there's no paint. It hasn't leaked through. Okay, so everybody, I see lots of thumbs up. Everyone's saying they can hear me. Just make sure if you're watching from your computer that you didn't hit, there's like a little X mark down there in your sound. You might have hit it by accident. I've done it many times. But I see lots of people's thumbs up, ready to move on. Yeah, that's true too. You could just go out of the video and then just come back in, and that might help too. Okay. All right, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna get some white on our plate. So just some white. And we're still using our 1/2-inch flat brush. The name of my page is Artistic Chris. So what we're going to do is we are just going to put some white paint on our brush, and we're just coloring in the moon. Now this is where you can get the shape of your moon going too. If it went a little wonky while you're painting, you can paint right over that as long as it's dry and kind of reshape that moon. And you don't need a crisp, clear edge because moons, you know, they have that glow. So as you get that glow, the edges kind of, they don't stand out as much. They're kind of hit and miss. So I'm going to pin to the top of the page my page name. That way you can see it. Okay, so what we're doing is we're just coloring in this moon, just white. The reason we're doing this, even though it's already white, is to get a better outline, to fix any mistakes we made as we painted if we didn't keep it somewhat circular, and just to get a base color on there because we're going to put some color in the moon, and it's nice to have some base color in there. I think I made my moon a little bit smaller than the one below, so I'm going to make it a bit bigger now. It's always good to start off smaller, and then you can always make things bigger. It's very hard to take away, but it's easy to add. So there, just colored in white. This video will be completely replayed, so you can view it after. Yep, Artistic Chris. And if for some reason you fall behind, like I said, I'm going to replay it the second it's done. You can go right back and just rewind it to the spot you need. So I'm just filling this in white. And then you can wash out your brush when you're done that. I've never done a live video from YouTube. I just repost these videos in YouTube. So you'll see my past events in YouTube, but I've never gone live from there before. Yeah, I'm not sure like if you can connect Facebook to YouTube and go live at the same time. I'm not incredibly tech savvy. I'm just learning all this. So for now, when I go live, it's just on Facebook. So far all I did is with my 1/2 inch brush, I just colored in the moon white. I fixed any like mistakes on the outside by making the shape, and you can go over the color with the white if you want to make your moon a bit bigger. I still think my moon down here is a bit bigger than that one, but we'll just keep it like that. It'll still work out just fine. Thanks, Lauren. Yeah, that's a good point. Deidre says, if the paper in your notebook is thin enough that you get bleed through, you could put wax paper or newspaper, cardboard, even those glossy the glossy mailers between the pages. That way it doesn't go through. That's a great tip. Yeah, I think I would need a different, I don't know what it's called, like StreamYard, yeah, like an add-on. I am going to put this one on YouTube. Yep, I'm going to try to get it up tomorrow. I have one more day of online learning with my 2 children. I might be gray the next time you see me, but I will try to find time to put it on YouTube tomorrow, along with, I have a couple other videos I haven't put up yet. Okay, so what we're going to do next is, if you see here, the moon has a lot of purples in it and the eggplant color. So we're just going to add that in next. And we're still using this 1/2-inch flathead brush. So what I'm going to do is, normally when we are using this and we're blending, we like to make sure all the bristles are up and nice and that we have a flat surface there for our flatheads. But because we are going to be using this in a dabbing motion, and we want that speckled look, I'm going to take and I'm just going to rustle the brushes around a bit, just up and down. And that's going to kind of give us, you can kind of see them, I don't know if you can see that, kind of see them like spread out a bit. They're not flat, and that's what we want. Natina says she can't hear either. That's odd. I don't know why some people can't hear. Just make sure the sound is on your device. Obviously, that's obvious, but you never know if it got clicked by accident, or you can go out and come back in. Okay, so we have all our bristles spread apart there, and we're gonna go first into the light purple. So we're going to take, and we're just going to dunk a corner in there. So you'll see, just like that. And we're going to pat it off a bit on the side, just so we don't have big clumps. And we're just coming in. And I'm making it so that the majority is over on this side here. It kind of comes to a point. So, and we're just going to tap up and down, like this. If you have too much paint on your brush, you'll just get big globs. So make sure you're patting your brush off on either a napkin first or on your plate. Less is more for this. And you can keep patting over top of those dots, and you're going to start to see it kind of get almost like cloudy. And that's kind of what we want. So I'm going to move this closer so you can see. We're kind of getting some spots in there that are darker, a little bit that are lighter, and that's the effect we're going for. You're achieving this look by not having too much paint. So we're going to go back in. When you run out, go back in, and then dab off on your plate to the side again, and we're going to start again, and just keep going. We're following the shape of the moon, with leaving a little rim. So we don't have to go right to the edge. And we're just tapping. And tapping and tapping. We're going to go back in again. And just use it to your own discretion. So when you feel like your paintbrush isn't really dabbing color on anymore, then go back in and get a little bit more. And I'm kind of going in a C shape around the moon. It's almost like a half moon or quarter moon inside the big moon. And it's okay to keep patting over top of what you already did. That's what's going to kind of give it that cloudy look. You'll definitely be able to play this later. If you go under my videos, You'll be able to play it later on my page, you'll see it. And I pinned my page name to the top, so you can just find me there. So far we just have this here. I am using the lightest purple so far first. This is just the light velvet purple. So that's all we're doing so far. We're just kind of making a C in the moon by dabbing the light purple on. We're using just the corner of this 1/2 inch flathead brush and with very little paint. You do not want a lot of paint for this. Stephanie, did you do the frog painting? That's awesome. That was a lot of fun. My daughter loved it. She loves doing it. There's going to be more parent and me paint nights in the very near future. I might do one for the American Thanksgiving, maybe with like, I don't know, like a football or something. And then definitely some Christmas ones. So this is the light purple for the moon. Yes, something patriotic. I know the Canadian Thanksgiving and the American Thanksgiving is different days, so I might do something in between the two, just because I'm from Canada, but I have a ton of American viewers, so I would like to be able to do something for both countries. Okay, so I'm going to do the next step of the moon, and then I'll give everyone a few minutes to catch up. So we're going to be doing the exact same thing we just did, but we're going to be putting some of that darker eggplant purple in there. So far we have just put on that light purple. I'm going to take this and do the same exact thing. I'm going to put the corner in the eggplant, kind of tap it off, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to tap it again, but I'm not going to tap exactly as wide as this. I'm going to kind of leave it a little bit thinner in the middle, kind of coming out, so that you can still see, you still want to be able to see that light purple. So we're just going to come in here and just tap a little bit of that darker color in here and there. For acrylic, it's a lot better to do many thin layers than to just try to accomplish it all in one by putting like one thick layer. It won't be the look that you expect when you go to do it. It's just gonna look clumpy. So it's a lot better to just take your time and do many thin layers. And I'm just using the corner of my brush. I'm not using the whole thing like this. I have it kind of tilted. I'm just using the one corner. Yes, I'm just tapping up and down on the corner with very little paint. Rosie says, love how my moon is turning out. Awesome. That's great. So I'm going to move it a little closer so you can see again. And you'll see that dark is just, it's there with the lighter purple, but you can still see the lighter purple on the edges. And that's kind of what gives it a little bit more depth. So we don't want to cover up that light purple completely. You can find me on YouTube. I pinned the name Artisticris to the top of the comments in this feed, and that is the name of my YouTube channel. So if you go on and you type in Artisticris, exactly like you see it pinned, you will find these tutorials. This one I will try to get up tomorrow. Am I too close? Maybe that's why it's blurry. Is that better? Do you need a password for what? I'm not sure what you're asking if I need a password for. Okay, I'm going to put this back up here. I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes. It's so funny, my dog is dreaming when he sleeps and his tail's wagging and slapping on the bed right now. Does anybody else's dog dream and just his whole body goes nuts? I wonder what they dream about. Yes, Brandy, this will be available later to view. You do not need to click any links to view this at any time. So don't click any links if you see links if you're just coming on. Those are just scammers. I can't keep up with them fast enough, so we'll just leave them there and ignore them. Marissa says yes, but she whimpers. Aww. Yes, I knew what you meant. Shannon says her dog is snoring very loudly. Yeah, he does that too. He takes up our whole bed at night. He snores. He's rude. He takes my blankets. But we love them anyways. I am in Ontario, Canada. I am near Windsor. So close to Michigan. Oh, BC, so fellow Canadian, awesome. You can wash out the brush when you're done with your moon. And then when we're ready to move on, we're going to be working on this fence down here. It looks a bit intimidating, but it's not at all. It's very, very easy. I'm going to show you each layer, and really it's just based on shapes. So I promise you it's not as intimidating as it looks. Okay, so I'm going to start painting this fence down here. So we're going to put some black on our plates. Yes, for any of you that are more advanced painters, then you kind of already know the basics to these steps. So if you want to go ahead, you can. I'm just trying to keep a happy medium between the newest people and then the people that are advanced. It's hard because when you have like 800 people watching. So, okay. So what we're going to do now is just put some black on our plate. And we are going to use the small 1/2-inch brush here. And what I'm going to do is, the very first thing is we're going to find halfway to our page, and we're going to keep it a bit lower, so about 1/3 of the way. So find about 1/3 of the way through your page. And we're just going to put some black on our brush. And we're going to be using the brush the flat way, so completely using the whole width of this brush. And we're just going to start about 3/4, and we're only going to come out, I'd say about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, and we're just going to draw a line. So I'm just trying to figure out right about here, just like that. The video will be up for quite a while. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to leave a little edge here, but we're just going to go all the way down with the black, and we're going to color that in. So all we've done is we've just come out with our brush about 1 inch, 1.5 inches, and then we leave a little ledge there, and we draw a straight line down, or paint a straight line down, and just fill that in all the way to the edge of the page. This is the smaller brush. This is the small flat inch brush, or flat head brush, sorry. As I'm going, I will repeat the steps just in case you fall a little bit behind. So then we're going to find the middle of our page this way. And I'd say the same exact height here. We're going to do the same thing on top. So we're just going to come across to halfway through our page, and we're going to draw another line this way, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. The same length as you did this one. And then we will leave a small edge on both sides and come down. And we're just coloring that in. So we have our 2 pillars here. Can you see the whole page there? Okay, we'll move it down a little bit. I can't get both in. I can't move this up because it's on a shelf, so it doesn't have the ability to move up. I can only keep it like that. But I'll move this closer so you can see. We just have 2 pillars right now. This one's against the page, and it just comes about 1.5 inches out. We leave a little lip here. And then this one here is halfway from this side to this side. It's halfway. And then we just drew another pillar, exactly the same shape and size as this one here. And this is all in black with the small flathead brush. Yes, all my videos are available for replay under videos on my page. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to go down and leave a little bit of space. So this is what we're creating right here. We're going to create this line, So we're leaving a little bit of space here. We're using the width of our small brush, and we're coming straight across. So I'm leaving a little bit of space from there to there. And we're coming straight across like this. Move that a little bit closer. If your colors are showing through your black, you might just have a thinner paint. You'll just have to go over them again once they dry. You can give it a quick blow dry after we're done doing the one layer. A quick blow dry and just kind of quickly go over it again. It just must be a little bit of a thinner paint. Okay, so once we're done that, we're going to come back over here, and we're just going to draw this arch in here. So it's starting lower than the top. It's coming up over the top. It's a little bit higher than these, and it's coming back down on this side. We're still using the width of the brush. So I'm just coming up like this. Just like that. I think you have to finish and wait until it's finished to rewind it. I've heard there is a way to do it. I'm not really sure how it works, but I will be reposting it as soon as it's done, which will be between 8 and 8:30. And then we're just going to be drawing these sections here. Now, the easiest way I find is if you draw the middle one first, then you can kind of make them even all the way across. So if I find the middle of my point here, and I just go straight down, and you can still use the width of your brush for this. And then we're just going to make it a little bit thicker on both sides. So just a little bit widened on both sides. And I'm doing it on both sides, that way it's even. And then you can go right beside it and do another one. You should be able to fit two, I would say two beside the middle one on both sides. This one somehow I managed to fit 3 on one side. I'm not sure how I did that, but... Now we're just going on the other side here, doing the same exact thing. Don't worry about your black lines being incredibly straight. We're going over all this with white anyways, just to make it pop, so there's no perfection needed here at all. My lines are not 100% straight. It's a rickety old fence. It's not brand new. This is all still black paint. This whole thing is going to be black paint still. Yeah. Then we're coming over here. Same with here. I'm going to put one in the center. And when I'm done, I'll hold it up so you can see where all the boards are. And we're just moving over to the other side of the middle one and doing a couple there. Thank you for everyone who's answering any questions I'm missing. I really appreciate that. You can wash off your brush when that's done. So you'll see there we just have really just like a silhouette or a shadow of a fence at this point. So while everybody's painting that, I'm just going to show you my next event. That way if you want to join, you can. Let me just find it here. Okay, so my next event is going to be next Thursday and Friday. There's going to be 2 paintings. There's going to be this one called Witches Be Crazy. This one is going to be on Thursday night, and it is also at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So there's that one there. And then the next day on the Friday, we are going to be doing this one. This is called Hootiful Harvest. So that will be on the Friday the 16th. So that's going to be those 2 there. These 2 are stenciled paintings, so you will get access to stencils. This is a 2-night event that is $10. So if you want to join, I'm going to pin the link up in the comments. That is an actual link with my name on it that you can click if you're interested. It's $10 for both nights, and it's $10 per computer. So if you want to have friends over and you want to paint with them, you can do that. You have lifetime access to both paintings. And there's also going to be a draw that night. Oh, maybe not that night, sorry. Let me rephrase that. There's going to be a draw for a prize for whoever's paintings are the most unique and the most creative. So if you want to join in on that event, I will post the link. I will pin it in the comments in a second. It's $10 Canadian, which I think, I don't know, does that end up being cheaper, I think, for people in, I think everything in Canada is a bit more expensive. So yeah, I'll post it here. This is called the fall ball. So I'm going to put link to the fall ball, and then I'll put the link. So this is a legit link. Okay, so I pinned it up to the top there. The prize is going to be an Amazon gift card. So I'm not sure the exact amount yet. I didn't purchase it. If I get lots of people that sign up, I will do a higher amount. So I'm not quite sure on that yet, but it'll be an Amazon gift card, and I will ship it to your house if you live not local to me, at my cost. So there's no extra cost to you if you win. I will gladly ship it to you. Yeah, it ends up being like $8, right? $8 American for both nights. So that's there. You just sign up, and then as soon as you sign up, I have an automated email that will send you the link. If the link is not clickable, just copy and paste it in your URL above, and it'll bring you to the group, the private group, and then I'll just accept you in the group. Okay, so if you're ready to move on, just let me see some thumbs up, or some likes or hearts, and we'll keep going here. It's through PayPal, but you can sign up with your credit card too. You have a choice of PayPal through debit or credit card. I try to make my paid events affordable for everyone as well. I still want everyone to paint with me. Sometimes I have some that are paid events because this is my business that I live off of. So I don't work out of the house. I do this all in home. I quit my job 2 years ago to take this leap. So I do sometimes charge for some stuff. I am in the works of trying to make a membership. I kind of want to have this community of people that come together and they paint together and we have fun throughout the months and they can learn something. Just not sure about all the details about the membership yet. Okay, I have a lot of thumbs up, a lot of hearts. I have a couple people saying a couple more minutes. So I'm going to go in the middle. I'm going to meet you in the middle and I'll give you another minute there. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to work on, we are going to bring in these ghosts. And these guys are really, really fun to create. That's like one of my favorite parts of this painting. So what we're going to use is the small flat brush. And if you still have white on your plate, then that's great. If not, put some white on your paint. I have a couple tattoos, Victoria. I have one here that says Dad, for my dad that passed away. It's a moth. And then I have one here for my mom. Can't really see it there. That's a flower, and it says Mom on it. If you really wanted to join the event and you could only do e-transfer, just message me after and I'll give you my email address. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to pull a little bit of white to the side. So grab a little bit of white that you have there, just kind of pull it to the side, and we're going to go into our water. If your water is dirty, take 2 seconds and go get some clean water, because our ghosts will be the tint of the color of your water. So just go take a second and just get some clean water if you don't have any right now. Okay. so we're all back with our clean water. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take our brush and we're gonna dunk it in the water and we're gonna just put some on this white paint. And we're gonna keep doing that until it's a bit runny. We want that white paint to become more liquefied. So once you start to see it kind of drip down and it's liquefied, that's what you're going for. So in the brush, you will see that you can see my bristles kind of through it. It's a little bit translucent. Now that is still going to be too white. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in and just kind of rinse our brush off a bit, but still have that white in there. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking and just kind of doing this so it doesn't drip on my painting and just getting those drips out, but there's still white in this brush. You'll see. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our two ghosts, and how we're going to do that is we're going to draw the outline first of the ghost. So we're just going to look, and it's kind of just like a messed up U upside down if you look at just the outline. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to take the brush the skinny way. So we're going to be using it like this, not flat. And we're going to come over here, and we're just going to make that upside down U. So if you can see it there like that, it's kind of see-through a bit. And that's what we want. And then we're going to do the same thing with this one. So this one also is just, if you look at the body of it, it's just an upside down U. And this one's just down a little bit further. And it kind of comes into the moon a bit. And that's what we got there. If your video stopped, just go out and come back in and it'll load up again. Okay, so we're going to tap our brushes into that really watery white again. And then we're going to go back into our water. And we're just going to dunk it quickly and then just do that again so that all that excess water is out. And we're going to come from the top, follow the shape, and we're just going to go down like this. Just flick it down. We're just going to get the initial coloring in of that ghost. And we're just going straight down. Try to keep that shape. Just follow the shape. And then brush straight down. So every time you need to get more paint, just kind of get your brush a bit wet. Because the main body of the ghost is not going to be as see-through as when we get down here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my brush so that it's the skinny way. I'll show you in a second. So I'm going to flip it so that I'm painting the skinny way, not flat like that, but like this. And I'm just going to give little lines down. Just kind of flick them down like this. And that's going to kind of give our ends of the ghost there. You're going to be able to see that background behind. You still want to be able to see the background. Is everybody else seeing my video? I see a couple people lost the feed. Can you just give me a quick thumbs up if you can still see what I'm doing? Okay. Okay, I'm seeing lots of thumbs up. Okay, so we're going to keep going and we're going to do the same thing with the other ghost. If you are losing the feed, just pop out and come back in and it should be renewed. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with this one here. We're just pulling down with just really thinned out white paint. We still want to be able to see that color of the background through those ghosts. So we have our two little ghosts there. Yes, Kathy, if you just, this event should be over by 8:30 at the latest. And then I will replay it immediately. So on my page, which I pinned to the top in the comments, you'll see under videos it replayed. Okay, so while we have our brush out and we have our white out, we are going to come and we're going to fill this fence in. If your fence still has a little bit of black that's wet, as long as it's just slightly, it'll be okay, because it's okay to blend a little bit of that in and give a gray tone. But if it's really, really wet, then just take a second to blow dry it. Okay, so we're just gonna get some white paint on our brush again. And we're not putting a ton of white paint. We're putting it on there and then we're just scraping it off. So I have my white paint on and I'm coming to the side and I'm scraping both sides off. So it's on there, but it's not caked on. And what we're doing is we're gonna follow the lines that we did here, but we're gonna purposely leave some black showing behind. So how we're gonna achieve that is just very light-handedly kind of filling in those spaces. So you'll see here, if I go light-handed and I don't have a lot of paint on my brush, you're gonna get that streaked look, and that's what we want. We want the shadows. We want to be able to see that black in behind the fence. So the key to getting that look is not too much paint and going light-handedly, not too heavy-handed. And we're going to continue that. We're going to follow along the whole fence line like we already did. So when I go from here into here, I'm going to swipe this way because that's the top. And when I go this way, I'm going to swipe down so that the grains of the wood are going a different way. I'm also going to leave a tiny space between this, just a tiny one. And just pull down. So if you pick your spot, put your brush down, kind of wiggle it a little bit, and then pull down. You'll see you're getting that look. So I'm leaving a little black space there. Kind of wiggle my brush and then blend down. Same here, all the way. Then if you find like a little bit of too much black is going through, then you can come back and kind of fill it in a bit. But at least you haven't started with too much. And that's kind of what the look you want there. Like worn wood. This white is not thinned, it's just not a lot of white. If you do use the thin white, it won't ruin anything. That's completely fine, but this one is not specifically made thinner. And we're just going to keep doing that, following the lines here. And just remember, between every section, just kind of leave a little space. That way we can see where that shape starts. Just the very tips of my bristles are touching when I push down on this. It's not the whole brush at all. So you'll see there. And just continue to go along here. Just remember to stay with whatever the way the wood's facing. So if it's a pole going down, then we go down. And if it's going across, then we go across like that. The replay is going to be put up as soon as this painting is done. So it's not going to be a live replay. It's going to be recorded, so you can view it anytime. If you can't make the black creases in the wood, you just have too much paint. So just put a little bit less paint. And you're just going light-handed. So I'm just pushing very lightly down. And when you do that, you're going to see, when you don't have a lot of paint, you're going to see where the paint goes on the, where it starts to wear off on there by seeing the black come through. So that's how you're going to do it. So if you're not getting the black coming through, you either have too much paint on your brush or you're pushing too hard. So there's kind of a happy medium, but this all comes with practice. Don't be rough on yourself if you can't get it the first time if you're newer to painting. This all takes practice just like anything else. Okay, so while we have our white still out, we're gonna just go back to these ghosts, and we're just putting more of that watered down white just on the upper part of the ghost. So we're not gonna be touching down here at all. We're just gonna bring in a little more white up top and kind of bring it down, just like a layer extra of it. But it's still watered down. It's just gonna be a little less translucent than the rest of him. Just like that. That's all we're doing. So just the very tops with just one more light layer of that watered down white. Well, that's great, Judith. I'm glad. I'm happy you like how it's turning out. So remember, just the very tops of the ghost, and we're just going in a downward motion. We're not touching him at all again down here. We want him to be left see-through and kind of loose. Kind of like the pieces of cloth, if you had like a fake ghost, would be like the tassels. Okay, so by show of thumbs up, how many people are ready to move on? I'm sorry, Jane, if this is going too slow for you, if you're more of an advanced painter. I don't like to rush too super fast because there's a lot of people who are not advanced painters and they don't know the steps. I like to be known for showing people who don't know how you get each step. So if you already know all this and you're really a super advanced painter, I'm really sorry that we're moving too slow. But I can't just keep going and going because people will fall behind and they won't enjoy the paint night. Not if they're brand new. So just, it's a relaxing night. If you're finished painting the same as I am, then sit back, take a drink, relax, enjoy the silence if you have silence around you, and just take it in for what it is. It's the one thing in my life I don't like to rush through because everything else is so rushed all the time for everybody. So let's just take a deep breath. We'll drink some tea or some wine or whatever you got going, some hard liquor if it was a really rough day. And we're just gonna enjoy this moment. Oh, Michelle, that's a good suggestion. I sometimes do two sizes at once, one regular and one tiny. That challenges me for when sometimes the tutorials move slower. Yes, if you are an advanced painter, you could even be a better painter than me. I'm definitely not the best painter. I like to have fun when I'm painting. I'm definitely not a fine artist, but I like to be fun. Misty says I'm doing this with my 10 and 6-year-old boys. How are they doing? Are they finding it easy to follow along? Okay, so we'll just give it one more minute and then we'll see how everyone is. Yes, so we'll just quickly go over what happened so far and then we'll continue on. So if you're doing the fence, we just put a very light amount of white on our brush. This is our small flathead brush, and we just went in the direction that we originally did. So we just put a layer over top, allowing the black to show through, and that's achieved by just a little amount of paint on your brush. Then we went up after and we just put a watered down white just on the tops of the ghosts here, just so that they're a little bit less translucent, and as we go down, you can kind of see them thinning out. That's how I think a ghost would look if we had seen one in real life. A little bit more substance to the top, and then down below they'd be fading away. It's okay, Teresa, if you missed it. There's going to be a replay up as soon as this is done. Okay. So just throw me some thumbs up if you're ready to move on to making the tree. We're going to do that next. Yes, Jackie, I can definitely wait 30 seconds and go take a bathroom break. Okay. So I see lots of thumbs up coming in. Yes, it's true. We don't make mistakes, just happy accidents. / Bob Ross. Hi, Ava Lee, if you're watching. Thank you for doing this paint night with me. Okay, so let's move on to the next step. So what we're going to do next is these trees, and we're going to use the fine tip brush for this, or the pointed tip brush. If you have a super duper small pointed brush, then I'm going to suggest that you use this flathead brush, but we're going to use it the skinny way. And it's going to achieve the same look. I'm going to use both to show you how you can achieve the same look with both brushes. Okay, so we will start, you should have black on your plate. If you don't yet, you can put a little bit of black on there if you don't have enough. And I'm going to start with this flathead brush, but you can use the pointed brush as well. I'm going to use both. And I'm just dunking just the tip of the brush in black. So as you can see here, we're going to work out from here. Now, when we make our trunks, we are going to do lines first, and we're not going to worry about the thickness of the trunk. That's going to come in after when we decide how thick we want them, because if we do them too thick to start with, then it's not going to look good. So what we are going to do first is using it the skinny way, like that. We're going to decide where we want it. So mine starts a little bit below the moon. And you can do like the branches however you want. They don't have to be exactly the same as mine. Mine are a little bit squiggly, like S's. And I just come up and I just make a squiggly line, just like that. Exactly like that. And then I'm going to come and I'm going to do another one, just kind of missing these ghosts. We want to go around the ghosts. So I'm going to come back here and I'm just going to bring one out coming like that. And then I'm going to make one in the center that's going to kind of branch off into two separate ones. So we'll come out from the center and we'll come more one way. So I'm coming up a little bit more. And then I'm going to take and go halfway up and kind of just branch off of it. I will hold this up after just so you can kind of see how this is going. And then just fill it in with branches off of these branches. So I used this the skinny way, and you can see that I've achieved the basic look of a branch. And I'm going to switch to this brush now, just to show you that you can use both. Either or will work fine for this. So I'm just putting paint on this brush, and I am just coming in and I'm just giving some branches. So if you see here, this one was done the skinny way with the flathead. This one was done with the pointed brush. I don't know if you'd be able to tell the difference if I hadn't told you. So it is possible to achieve this look with both. Okay. And then we're just going to do little branches off of these. Just wherever you feel you need to fill a little bit of space. Everybody's placement is going to be different on this canvas. They're not all going to be exactly like mine. So if you feel like this space here is a little bit empty, then you can put one there, whereas maybe I wouldn't. But that's the beauty of everyone's being different. Hi, Lorraine. She's saying hi from Colorado. Welcome. So once you've got your branches placed, that's when you can go in and you can decide how thick you want your trunk. So for me here, for example, that's just like a tiny little stick right now, right? Which obviously as a tree branches out, it's going to be thicker at the base of that branch. So I'm just going to start back up here, and I'm just going to bring in a little bit of thickness to that. Same with down here. You can just kind of bring out a little bit more thickness, just like that. And then same with where they meet. So if you wanted to start this a little bit thicker, just kind of bring in just a little bit more thickness to the base. Then we are going to go in and we're just going to put some leaves into that tree. So we're still using, for this I would suggest using the pointed brush. If you have a small tiny one, this will work for this too. So I'm using a size 3. Anything a 3 and down will work. The replays are going to stay up for quite a while, and you can find me on YouTube too under Artistic Chris if you want to view all my past ones. Okay, so to make the leaves, oh, I stuck my hand in there. Oh well, I'll fix it later. That's what happens when you're left-handed. Happens to me every time. Okay, so to make the leaves, we're just gonna do 2 brackets. So I'm gonna do it up here in the white part so you can see it easier, but I'm just gonna take my fine tip brush and I'm gonna make a bracket one way, and then I'm gonna make a bracket the other way. They don't have to touch the branch, or they can. They don't even have to touch each other. This is just a very whimsical looking painting, so it's not obviously realistic. It's more for fun. So you can do that, one this way, one that way, and just kind of place them wherever you'd like. As you get to the tops of the tree branches, you can make your leaves a tiny bit smaller. But just little flicks. It doesn't have to be something that we concentrate on too much. It can just be a flick this way, a flick that way. You'll see there, this one is actually not touching anything or itself. It's just 2 little brackets. And then I have some in this painting that are kind of falling off the tree. It looks like it's kind of a windier Halloween night or a scary windy night. So I'm gonna do some that are just free down here. And that's the perfect opportunity too for me to clean up my mess I made with my left hand. So that's what I have so far. It's nothing, they're not too crowded or anything like that, just a few here and there. Obviously, if it's October, the leaves are barely on the trees anymore, so we're not going for a full tree here. So while we have our black out here, I'm gonna draw those, or paint those faces on the ghosts. Now you can get creative and you can do your faces any way you'd like. They don't have to be exactly like mine, but in my example here, I'm gonna do them the same way. So on this little ghost here to the side, I kind of have his face off to the side, so I'm not gonna make it right in the middle. I just did one little eye here, and these are like this little ovals. And I am using the pointed tip brush for this. So we have one there. This eye is a bit bigger, but it's still off to the side. And these are little ovals that I'm doing. So I'm kind of doing exactly what I did with these leaves, kind of a bracket, and then I'm just filling it in. And then the mouth stays off to the side here. And we got our one face on there. The leaves, we're gonna do the different colors. So the turquoise, the purple, we didn't paint them in yet though. We're just doing the outsides right now of them, just a black outline. We gotta wait for that black to dry before we go in with color, or it'll be all mixed in. Don't worry, Rita, there's gonna be a replay, so you can always redo this video if you missed it. Okay, so now I'm going to this guy's face. His eyes are a little bit different. They're not completely ovals. They kind of look like lima beans or kidneys. So I'm gonna just kind of make squiggly kidney bean eyes here. Guess that's the best way I can describe it. And he's looking pretty much straight on, so I'm doing his face right in the center. And then same with his mouth. He's He looks like he's screaming out for help right now. And then we have his face on there. So I'll move that closer just so you can see. The link that's showing in the comments is a scam, Donna, so do not click it. It is people who are trying to copy my event and then charge you money for it. So please do not click it. This is a free event. If you're viewing it now, you do not need to click any links. Okay, so I'm going to put this back up here. I'm going to get rid of a couple people that just scammed me. I'll let you guys catch up there. Yeah, so what I have is another group on Facebook, and it's called Created to Create with Artisticris, and it's where it's a community where we just put all our paintings. So whether it's a painting with me or somebody else or just something you did on your own, you can feel free to ask to join it, and we just show our paintings in there, and it's a judgment-free zone. So also if there's any questions you have about painting, you can post them in there and I'll answer them. I'll pin that to the top too if you want to find it and join the group. But yeah, if you want to share your painting after, I always do a long video, kind of like a picture train of everyone's paintings. So you can send them to me either in the comments when this is done, or you can private message me your pictures, or you can even post them in Created to Create with Artisticris if you ask to join. So there's lots of different ways to send your pictures in. Everybody likes to see them. I think I had about 40 people send them in for my last paint night. So feel free to share and just kind of see what everyone did differently. Oh, there is a link that I pinned to the top. That is a legit link. It should say Artisticris beside it. That's my fall ball. So that is my next painting event. All the details are in that link if you click it. That is a safe link to click. If you do not see my name at the beginning as the person that posted it, it's not a safe link. So if it's pinned to the top, it is safe. That is a 2-night event next week. Okay, so we're gonna move on and we are gonna paint this cute little kitty cat. He's checking out the ghosts. And we are gonna stick with this small detail brush here. So we're just gonna stick with black. And we're gonna come in here and we're just gonna draw a little oval shape. So nothing too big. Start smaller than bigger if you want, because we are gonna add some of this fur after in here and it's gonna make him puff out more. So if we want to start with a smaller little oval, you can always do it first by just painting the outside of his body on there. So once you have the outside, you can go ahead and paint that in black. So that's what we'll have so far. Just kind of like a little oval guy. The shape of like an avocado, sort of. Okay. So after we've got that, we are going to put a little round ball on top. So like a little circle. So we're just going to make a tiny circle here for his little head. And we're going to color that in. Thank you, Debbie, for your kind words. It's really nice. I appreciate that. Okay. Then we will do 2 little tiny triangles on top of that round ball. That's his head. So we'll do 1 little triangle here and 1 little triangle here. So far, we just have an avocado-shaped body, a little round ball on top for his head, and 2 triangles for his ears. And then we will do a line for his twisty tail. And we are going to make that thicker after. So right now we're just going to make it a thin line. So it's going to come up and just kind of twist over there. Just like a little curl on the end. No, this event was started from 6 till 8. So we're going to go another about 10 minutes painting. But there will be a replay, Madeline, if you did miss it. As soon as I'm done, I'm going to replay it and I'm going to throw it in my video section. So you'll be able to find it there. And Nicole, my cat, looks like a demon. That's okay, because it's going with the theme of tonight. So that's all good. Okay, so once we have the outline of our cat done, we're going to give him a little bit of fur. So we're just going in with a little bit of paint on that pointed brush. And just on the outline of him, we are just going to flick little tiny flicks out. And that's going to give him a feeling of being furry. So you'll see there, it's kind of hard to see in this light, but... And you're just going to follow that on both sides, just using the very tip of your brush. You're just going really lightly and just kind of flicking out, very tiny. And we're going to do that. We're going to follow his face and his ears. And then we are also going to do around his tail on both sides. So we'll just follow that little circle there. And you can leave space between the flicks. That's how you're going to see that there's hair there. It's not just all one line. You can even do a little bit on the bottom there to show it his fur's coming over the fence. Yes, I can repeat the shapes that I put together for the cat. That's no problem. So I started with his body, which is just a small oval. You're going to want to make it smaller than you originally want because once you put that fur on, it's going to make him bigger. So we did like a little avocado shaped body. So I drew that, I painted that the outline first and then I colored it in. And then his head is just a circle. So a little round ball with 2 triangle ears on top. And then I just did like a little twirly line for his tail. So it comes out, it just twirls at the end. And then we just went around with that pointed brush and we just flicked a little black paint. We followed the whole line of the cat and flicked that paint out. And that's how we kind of got it to look. He's almost a little bewildered by those ghosts. You can definitely add a collar on him. You can do whatever you want with your painting. If there is something you want to add, like a pumpkin down here, or you want to add a collar, or anything, like some bats in the sky, please do. Please do. And then send me a picture so I can see all these awesome creations. I want you to explore what you want to do. You do not have to stay in this realm at all. Okay, so all we have left to do tonight is we're going to color in our leaves, and then we're just going to put a little highlight on the cat, and we are finished. So if you feel like you're falling behind at all, this is going to be replayed within 10 minutes, and you can just back it up and catch up. But what we're going to do is we're going to go in, and we're just going to fill our leaves. I'm going to use this pointed brush again, and I'm just going to start with one color. It doesn't matter what one you want to start with. I'll start with the turquoise color, and I'm going to put it on my pointed brush, and I'm only going to do I'm going to put it down, I'm going to press down, and then just kind of fill the center. Just here and there. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to be completely filled. And you can just go ahead and do this on some of them here and there, because we're going to put some leaves with other colors. You can fill all your leaves in. I would do colors that are not there. So like, for example, this leaf is blowing into the turquoise, so I would not do turquoise. I'd pick white or purple, just so it pops out a bit more. So I did turquoise first for the leaves, but you can do the leaves of whatever color you would like. I'm doing all the colors of tonight. I'm going to do some turquoise, I'm going to do some purple, and I'm going to do some white. Just because those are the lightest colors that will pop. But if you want all one color, you can do that. And it doesn't matter what leaf you color in what color, as long as it's just kind of contrasting the color of the background so you can see it. So now I'm going in with that light purple, and I'm just filling in some of these here. It could definitely look beautiful with fall colors. Definitely, if you did like the sky oranges and yellows, definitely, even like red, orange, and yellow, it would look like almost like a fire sky. It'd be really pretty. And then I'm just going to go in with some white. So on the darker areas, like right here is pretty dark, I'm going to put in a white leaf. It's going to pop right out there. Oh, you're welcome, Pam. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy your dinner. Okay, so the last step that I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a highlight on the cat. Because the moon, the cat is directly below the moon, a little bit more to the left, I'm going to put the highlights on the right because more of the moon is hitting the right side of the cat. So, and how I'm going to do that, I'm just going to use my pointed brush with white, and I'm just going to flicker a little bit of white here and there all along this side of the cat's fur. Just like we did with the black, but we're just going to put a little bit of white. And that way he's going to kind of pop out here. So I'm just doing the top of him and this and the right side of him because my moon is on more on the right side of him. And don't forget when you're done to sign your work. Be proud of what you created. It's unique to who you are. Doesn't matter if it doesn't look like anyone else's. It's not supposed to. Just gonna back this up a little bit. If anybody needs it closer, let me know. Anyways, so I just wanted to come in here and say thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something from this paint night, and I hope you gained confidence in your painting because that's the most important thing to me is gaining confidence in your painting. I find if we can gain confidence in one area, then we can gain confidence in any area of our life. So I just want to say thank you so much. There will be a replay for anyone who didn't hear me say it. Right after I'm done wrapping this up, it'll be under my videos. You can like my Artisticris page on Facebook if you want. It will keep you notified of events. Also, I am on YouTube as Artisticris. I do have a web page on my site that I'm going to incorporate. I haven't yet, but I do have a website there, which will also post up all my events if you get a little confused looking through Facebook. So there's that. And then Created to Create, I pinned at the top with Artisticris, is just a safe place where we share all our paintings, whether they're with me or not. They are definitely welcome in there. So thank you so much. Have a great weekend. And if you want to join me next Thursday and Friday for the fall ball, there will be a giveaway for the most creative. I did put the link in the top and I pinned it. That link is safe. Any other link is not safe. So if it's pinned at the top and it says Artisticris beside the comment, that means it's safe. But have a great night, and I will see you Thursday and Friday. Thanks, guys.